Welcome back to Zolak and Bertrand from Army-Navy Radio Row at the Westin Copley. We are joined by Ross Tucker. You know him from the Ross Tucker podcast. You also may know him as a former Patriot. And tomorrow he'll be calling the game on Westwood One. He is going to be calling Army-Navy for how many games is this now that you've called?
This will be my 8th. Now, the first 3 I was on the sideline, which was wild because I had never been to an Army-Navy game till 2016 in Baltimore. And you're going to be on the sideline. After the game, you just interview the game-winning coach. That was the first time Army had won in 14 years. So I'm one of the few civilians. All of the cadets stormed the field. I'm one of the only civilians that knows what it's like to be under attack from our own infantry on U.S. soil. I mean, dude, I'm like dodging these kids like left and right, and they're in my ear. The producer's like, get the head coach. I'm like, dude, I'm trying not to die out here. Get the head coach. I mean, I couldn't even find the head coach. They're like, well, you got to get somebody. We have a sponsored post-game interview, right? So I grabbed the captain. This is like 10 seconds, and I'm like, whatever his name is, Ralph or something, like, hey Ralph, you just beat Navy for the first time in 15 years. How does it feel? And he goes, I'm just so effing proud of these guys.
That's what he should be, though.
And so then, I asked him 2 more questions, and we set it up. And the play-by-play guys, we would like to apologize for the language there. He's a young man, and it's like, what do you expect him to say in that moment?
He's an Army guy. It's a football game.
Yeah. I wanted to get back on the mic and be like, listen, if you have a problem with an Army guy saying the F word after he just beat Navy for the first time in 15 years, then you're a loser. Get out of here.
The worst thing, I did Navy for 6 years on the radio side. Bob Sosi did it I did six years of TV. Bob did the radio call, and we would do these production meetings, and it was Paul Johnson coaching Navy at the time.
Yeah.
And at that time, they threw the ball maybe twice a game. So every production meeting for like an hour and a half every week, what we're gonna run to the right or left today? You're anxious to see how they potentially could stop the run. It was like Eric Catani. They had some good backs, man. Kyle Eckel.
So, like, as a former offensive lineman, I love it. The other thing I love about it, like, in all sincerity, so all we talk about in college football now is, like, the transfer portal and NIL rivalries. And realignment and the taking away the rivalries. This game will never end. They're government employees. They're not allowed to get NIL. Then none of them gets a single dollar of NIL, and you can't transfer. First of all, after your sophomore year, you're locked in for at least 7 more years with the government. Secondly, if a guy wants to transfer to Army or Navy, you start as a plebe. Like your credits from Maryland, they don't transfer over to Army or Navy. You have to start as a freshman again.
Yeah, your Sociology 101 at Maryland is not going to count here at West Point.
That doesn't count for nuclear surface warfare?
And you actually have to attend your classes. You can't have someone go in your place.
That's the scary thing.
Going to class. Ross Tucker with us, and he's with us and brought to us by myfrontpagestory.com. Pretty unique, cool holiday gift. You got to go check that out at myfrontpagestory.com. It's like creating a front page of a newspaper for someone in your family.
It's awesome. Well, people don't know what to get, like, their wives for the holidays. Like, they don't, like, it's so sad. My wife literally emails me links now. Like, I said, what do you want? I'm like,
you ever hear Pinterest?
You think is that it? The deal?
I think that's probably what she's
like Pinterest or Etsy. Like,
yeah.
I don't have any creative ideas myself. That's why I tell people, like, go to myfrontpagestory.com, have them write a story about your wife. Just to be able to say, hey, babe, I did something special for you. I had a story written about you. Like, that sounds amazing. And then she reads the quotes like, I never thank her enough for all the little things she does for the kids. They love it. What's the front page story from last night? How are you guys feeling?
Bailey Zappe made some big boy throws in that game, did he not?
He did. You know what's funny? Like, and I know Bailey Zappe's not the guy and all that. You know what Bailey Zappe did last night? He kind of cemented he has a great chance to be at number 2 in the league next year. Like, that is critical for a guy like that Browning kid for the Bengals. These next 5 games, he's determining whether he's out of the league next year or he plays 8 more years. Like, Zoe knows the backup quarterback life.
He's closer to the 8 more years.
That's sort of that's how I did it. Like, I didn't play
Zappe's 3-1 as a starter?
He's 3-1 as a starter.
They're going to win another game.
I was talking about Browning, by the way, about being closer to the 8 more years based on his performance. Zappe, I think it's still. So
I was at Vitamin C Brewing in Weymouth, South Shore last night.
You were drinking. Nikovic was drinking. Already had him on.
It was delicious, but like I was with Pats fans there, and a couple of them like there's either a couple of them that were like, we have to lose this game. They wanted to lose the game. And then the other two were like, I understand that it'd be better for us to lose the game, but I can't be watching them, rooting for them to lose. You know what I mean? Like, they were incapable
to lose.
They were incapable of rooting for them to lose.
I so dismiss this narrative, and you're going to get a top pick regardless. But you said something. You said they're going to win another game. We talked about this earlier. Why do you think they're going to win another game?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like their defense has played really well. I think Zappe gives them a better chance than Mac did. I don't know when they're getting Pop Douglas back, but like Juju did some things. Hunter Henry did some things. Zeke showed that he could carry the load. I think there's a decent chance they win another game. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I've said all along they're going to beat the Chiefs. They're going to get wins like they did against Buffalo, where you least expect it. They have no business winning that game. It's like,
who do they play? Who do they still have?
The Chiefs. They got a Chiefs a week from Sunday.
They go to Denver.
Jets.
The Jets. We're missing one.
Jets at home. Denver. Chiefs. Buffalo.
Because here's the thing. Like, there are some teams that when they're out of it, like, they'll kind of, like, lay down. Like, they won't. That's not New England. Belichick wants every win. He needs every win. How many is he away from the record now?
Now he's 16.
Yeah, like, he wants he's not stopping coach until he gets that. So he wants all of these wins. Plus, he probably doesn't even think he'll be the coach here next year. So he probably what does he want them to get the number 1 or number 2 pick? How does that help Belichick? If he thinks he's gone,
oh my God.
How does it help Belichick if they have the 1st or 2nd pick and they get an awesome quarterback?
It's been in front of our faces the entire time, and Ross just said it. Exactly. Why is Belichick carry? It's like, because he knows he's going somewhere else and he doesn't want the Patriots to have a high pick.
Win 3 of the last 4, give him the 8th pick, and say, see you guys. Have fun. It was
well, my only
that's dastardly.
I had 2 when they were so bad for a while there that I was honestly thinking okay, so either he's trying to get the 1st or 2nd pick so he can convince Kraft to let him stay and mold Caleb Williams or Drake May, or maybe he wants to be so bad that Kraft can't trade him to another franchise and he gets to just get fired and be a free agent. Because he has value. I still believe he's going to either the Commanders or the Panthers. I have no inside information. You guys, like Zoe, you know way more than I do. I'm literally just throwing this out there. But those owners, those 2 franchises need credibility badly. And Belichick would give them instant credibility. Those organizations are as bad gets right now, and I think either one of them would love to bring him in.
You've been around Bill, and I've been around Bill a lot. The biggest thing with Bill is the horse blinders. He lives in the moment. Now, he may have people that are talking and that other teams have to do your homework. You got to start preparing for what is your next step. I get all that, but I remember the McDaniel stuff when he was going to Indy. And Josh was like, they're at the Super Bowl. Josh is like, Bill, I'm accepting this job. And Bill's like, well, what about this one more 3rd down, 3rd and 7, 13 rule we got to go over? It's still just talking about the game, not, hey, I'm leaving. And he doesn't hear it. He's worried about next week. Now he's on to the Chiefs.
We're on to Kansas City.
Yeah, on to Kansas City.
What percentage of your listeners want him back?
20 probably, I would say.
20% want him back.
20. Yeah.
80, see how these next 2 games
80-20 goodbye.
That's a 1 out of 5 spot, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That has happened quick.
So I went out to eat with somebody.
Start of the year, it would be 100, right?
Yeah.
Was there anybody at the start of the year before they played a game?
No, there have been some. Yeah, it was probably flipped. There's probably, maybe 20-80. Now it's 80-20.
It's not even so much about whether you wanted him back. It was at what would the record have to be? What would it have to look like in order for you to even consider it? Everybody had a different answer. I'm like, well, another losing season would do it for me, or certainly 7-10. Zoe said all along it's got to be 5 wins or fewer before you think it's even a possibility, much less that's something you would wish for. But it's all those scenarios are kind of.
What will the crowd be like at the next home game? Are people going to be booing, or are there going to be a bunch of empty seats?
No, I think it's Chiefs. They're going to be excited.
Yeah, they're going to be excited.
1 o'clock start.
It's Patrick
Zappe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's
Zappe
when
gives you hope.
Because in my experience, when even booing that they can live with, but if there's empty seats and if they're not booing, it's like they're like apathetic. That's when it's really bad.
There's the booing. Sorry. Good.
I was going to say, Ross, you've got more interviews to go to, but we'll see you at the Super Bowl. What do you say?
Yeah, can't wait. It'll be awesome.
We'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah, you guys going to bring the Patriots with you?
No. We'll be there by ourselves.
What's the matter with you?
We'll see you there.